Hi everybody, it's me, Nikki, and I'd really like to thank everybody who gave me some input and liked my first video. So here I am. I'm going to do number 2. And some of my friends out there wanted to hear me talk a little bit about my feelings on haters and hoaxers. So I thought, well, I'll do this next show on haters and maybe the one after that on hoaxing and stuff, but they kind of go together. They kind of intermingle whether you want them to or not. So, hating. It's a really ugly word, and I never heard it until the whole Dyer escapade, because he uses it in every sentence. But I guess my feeling is that a lot of people probably unintentionally put out some hateful feelings, whether it be, like me on a Facebook page and I try to make a comment about whatever the topic is on a thread, and if you don't think the same way as a lot of people, you will get attacked. And in a way it's good. It's good for people to have their own opinions, but when you resort to name calling and belittling and telling people, well, you're dumb or you're an idiot or you have no clue what you're talking about, that's really negative. It's really sad that people can't allow others to have their own opinions. It doesn't make them a horrible person. It just means that either they're still learning about the subject, or maybe they're right. Maybe you're true to what you're believing, and that's okay. So whether these people think they're hurting others' feelings, that can be a problem. I've been on a lot of Facebook pages where I mentioned it earlier that I don't even comment anymore on a lot of the topics because I know certain individuals already, and I know that they're just gonna, they're gonna attack, and they're gonna say, well, you don't know what you're talking about because this is what's happening in my backyard, and because they see it every day. They can make those kind of comments, but they don't know how to talk to people very well. Maybe they know how to talk to their Bigfoot, but they don't know how to talk to people very well. And granted, texting, messaging loses a lot. You lose a lot of the sentiment and how you talk to people. It gets lost when you're just typing in a computer. You got to take that into consideration too. I know even my husband and I make that mistake, a lot of times. I'm like, are you yelling at me? And he's like, no, I'm just telling you. So, but I don't think that hating's ever going to go away. It's just going to be something that's there because of the strong opinions people carry. And hoaxing feeds into that. It will always feed that hate, because I know of people who, okay, let's use Dyer again as an example. I'm on the fence. I don't know if he has a body or not, but he never did anything to me directly, and a lot of people take it really hard that he is hurting the Bigfoot community, even though the Bigfoot community tends to hurt itself by closing its mind off to other things. But he uses the word hate, and people who don't like him use the feeling of hate. They don't call themselves haters, but we're not ever going to talk about him again, and we're not, you know, anybody who puts a thread on this page is going to be kicked off. And you know, I've seen all that on threads where, no, you know, but he is a big part of the community whether we like it or not. He's there. It's there. The whole possibility of him having a Bigfoot is there. I think even Cliff Barackman said that. You know, he remains neutral, of course, but you know, there are Bigfoot. There's a possibility he could have it. And then there's the other people. There's no way because he's a hoaxer and he's hoaxed 4 or 5 times or whatever. So, my feeling is so, you know, pure entertainment to me. But others just get so upset that that's entertaining to me. Seeing how people get all upset about something so trivial, you know, oh well, you know, just let it go. Let's just see what happens, and don't hold so much hate in your heart for somebody, you know, to call them names. Nobody needs to resort to name calling in this field. This should be fun. I think this is fun. And you know, the moment that this doesn't become fun for me, then I'm going to go on to something else. You know, my family and my faith are number one, and I don't see why, you know, somebody else's opinion about Bigfoot would ever change that. And it really shouldn't for anybody else. Unless you make money. But I don't know of very many people making money off of Bigfoot other than selling, you know, jewelry or paintings or sculptures. And Rick Dyer, if you're buying his videos, or Dallas and Wayne, or a lot of people put out videos, you know, or all the books. And trust me, I've read some really good books. The last one was Eve by J.M. Bailey. Excellent. Plug. So, I don't know what else I can say that would convey how silly it is, you know, to harbor such bad feelings about people. I like the whole idea of going online and seeing a video and saying, oh, I don't know if that's real or not. Could be stump, could be a blob squatch, could be nothing at all, or maybe it is a squatch. I don't know. That's the whole fun of it, isn't it? So I leave that all up to you. I'm not sure if I'm the only one who feels like the hating is way too much, that people should just let people be, and if they want to do something, then they have every right to sell videos. They have every right to say whatever they want to say about Bigfoot, because there's not a Bigfoot. Aside from the people who say they have them in their backyards, a lot of us don't know. We're still waiting for that moment, you know, there's a Bigfoot. And I can't wait for that day, you know, to happen to me. And maybe I'm no longer going to be on that fence on a lot of issues, and things will change for me. But until then, you know, bring on the hoaxers. It's more to talk about, you know. And for the record, you know, I don't think, like Timber Giant Bigfoot, I don't think he's hoaxing. I think it really was something out there. And I've watched him for a long time. And he, you know, in the beginning, when I first started watching him, I called him a hoaxer because of a video I had seen, and I thought I saw something else in the video and made it public to him that, well, no, that's not what it is. And then later I went to his archives and I found the entire length of that video and watched it, and I was wrong. I was wrong. It was something there. And I went back and I remember posting, I'm like, wow, I'm sorry, you're right. There was something there. And ever since that time, you know, I've been a follower. And then I went back and watched all his videos. The ones with his kids I thought were great. Him out there in the shelter. And he just doesn't seem the type to care about hoaxing. You know, he has a great area and he gets out there and on his little day trips every day and explores, and he knows his area really well. And people bash him for wearing Crocs. Really? You can wear whatever you want out in the woods. That has always been silly, I thought. I even heard somebody complaining about the jewelry he wears out in the woods. So, really? I wear my rings and my earrings and everything out in the woods. Hasn't ever hurt me. So, kind of silly, I think. I love being personable. I like knowing a little bit more about the people I'm watching. I like all the fun or the laughing and the, you know, it doesn't have to be so serious. And yes, there are some serious researchers out there, and I get it. You know, I love them just as much. You know, the Mitchell Waite with Mogollon Monster, and Mark Pata and J.C. Johnson. They're serious what they do, and they're good researchers, and I appreciate everything they do. You know, so, and I kind of hold them in a little bit different light than I do some. But I like the fun ones too, you know. I like watching Bill Brock. I like watching a new one I just found, Miss Squatcher. She's hilarious. I think she's going to do really well. And I like keeping up. I like watching stuff like, you know, the Reverend Jeff, and of course my favorite, you know, Bigfoot Weekly. You know, I'll always keep up with those. But I think a lot of people take it too seriously. And that's where all that hate comes from, you know. I know people are passionate about what they do in the Bigfoot world, but nobody's an expert, you know. Nobody's an expert right now. Everybody's still learning. So there are a lot of people out there who think they are numero uno, and it's not true. I think everybody should be on an even plane. So let me know what you all think about hoaxers and haters. You know, am I far off about this? I don't think it's not ever going to go away, but I guess we'll have to see. So let me know what you think. I want to know, you know. Appreciate y'all watching. I'll get back with you. Keep on squatching.